You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Thanks for checking out this recording on Lone Star Community Radio. This is Dick, the General Manager of Lone Star Community Radio, and I wanted to give you a quick reminder of what's going on with us for the month of September. A new show has been added to our lineup. The Good News with Ted Cox is going to be on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. during our Talk Block. And also joining the Talk Block is going to be Mornings with Lone Star. Every weekday from 10 to 11 a.m., Mornings with Lone Star will extend their normal programming from music into talk. That's right. Starting from now on, from 8 to 11 a.m., Mornings with Lone Star. First 2 hours, music, talk, fun. And then from 10 to 11, more nitty-gritty talk radio for you. Also extending their time slot is going to be our favorite Saturday morning show, Grit and Grace. They're going to be extending their hours from 8 to 10 a.m. every Saturday morning for you. Also, the last reminder is we still have plenty of talk slots available for those who want to be a talk show host and also volunteer DJs for music. If you're interested in those kind of things, please let the studio know at lscrstudios@gmail.com or call the station at the message line at 936-647-3776. Thanks again for checking out Lone Star Community Radio, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and
All right.
bright
Dick, thanks a lot, man, because
Welcome to Mornings with Lone Star. I got to interrupt you to
Right.
say what we're doing.
we are making me choose the lesson. I stand for the anthem, but you're making me stand for Roseanne Barr's mangling of the anthem. So you really can you fade it out so I can sit down again? Thank you.
I stood.
You should-
Right, Leo and I stood.
We
Yeah.
had one person stand,
No,
one
two,
person,
yeah.
and one person
I-
stand with their hand over their heart, and then one sit. So
Well, I'm the technical guy, so I get that excuse, right?
Yeah, thanks for that warning there, Dick.
Well-
I appreciate it.
Oh, this is great.
I did tell people about it yesterday. Roseanne Barr totally mangling the. Sooner or later, audiences don't want their comforts messed with.
And then she spits
Yeah,
afterwards.
oh, she spit. She grabbed herself in inappropriate places, and oh yeah, it was. I remember watching it, and the funny thing is, it started like 4 seconds in, and she knew there was no happy ending to this song, and you just got to wonder who thought it'd be a good idea to do that.
Obviously, we're talking about it.
Yeah, well, this
Still.
is true. Still talking
and
about
it's been a while.
But
Yeah.
that strange voice you may hear on the radio, we have Leo from Conroe Coffee
Welcome.
sitting down with us. Welcome today.
I snuck in to hang out with the boys.
That's right.
Or the men,
We love
I
your
should
coffee.
say.
Yeah.
Am I a man?
Boys, no, we're
Men.
boys.
Boys to men.
Boys with boys with a Z.
well, we do get older, boy to man.
Yeah. That's the God. Okay. The sheer number of grandparents in the room. Raise your hands. Thank goodness, 2 of us. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not the only old one. But yeah, it's in the nitty gritty hour. We're going to be talking about taking a knee. Kneeling is one of our topics, and that Roseanne Barr mangling of the anthem shows that sooner or later Americans take exception when their symbols are messed with, and any nation has 2 symbols for the most part that embodify their nation. It's the flag and the anthem. The flag shows the history. It gives you a tangible to look at, to respect, to hold in your hand, to see waving. And then the anthem is your theme song. And sooner or later, you jack with these, people tend to take exception to it.
Yeah.
You can protest a president. I remember back in the day, the Dixie Chicks, the poor gals, they said something that they were embarrassed to be Americans because of Bush 41,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, they
And look, they were out of a job for years because people were like, oh, no, you don't do that. Now we have a different climate. You can just smack talk the president all you want. And it's not just Trump. It's just over the years, it's become, one day someone woke up and said, it's okay to do this. And then someone takes it a step farther. And here we are today. But the flag and the anthem are just 2 things that you can absolutely protest them. Be prepared to reap the consequences from that.
No, we should totally just go straight totalitarian on everybody.
That's right. Well,
And,
Jason,
No, I like the idea of was it room 208? What's the room from
Stephen King.
1986 where they get taken to the room? Help me out. That's where they brainwash you. I want to see people getting dragged off the field and they never are seen again.
Well,
I think that would be very.
that would be different.
And
Jason,
there goes John.
There he goes.
We don't care.
Jason at Conroe Coffee had a wonderful. He just he epitomized something when he said, as a veteran, former military, as an American, he would stand to respect, the flag and the anthem until the day that he was forced to, when the choice was taken from him, and that's when he would sit down. And I think that embodies America right there. Not just America. I mean, other countries. I love when people say, "What do you love about America?" Freedom. Well, you know what? Belgium has freedom too. It's not particularly American, but that choice that we're not forced to stand, said we can protest, is what I think helps this. We're making predictions today, aren't we, Dick?
Yes, we are going to be making predictions today about what's going to happen this week on the NFL. What are they going to do?
They got outdo last week.
So they got to. I mean, Jerry Jones, he winked at the camera. And one thing I love about rich people is they just love dogging each other in the most bizarre ways. Because Jerry Jones totally looked at that camera and goes, "What you going to do about it, Mr. Trump?" And can't wait. This is very sad that this is what's entertaining us this week.
All right.
But,
Looks like Jake's about to say so. Jake's with us, too. Hey, Jake, what's up, man?
Hi guys, how's it going?
Doing good.
No.
Oh gosh. Oh
I
gosh.
know.
Jake has a theme song with him, apparently.
Apparently, no. Hey, you got to give it to the owner of the Cowboys there over Jerry World. Yeah, they weren't at home this week, but he outsmarted everybody. I mean, he found the loophole in the system to where you can't really be mad at him because he didn't do it during the national anthem and he didn't do it while the flag was out.
No,
Yeah, but
what exactly did he do? Explain it for the readers. I know, but Dick may not, so explain it to him.
So they came out prior to the game, prior to the national anthem, prior to the flag being, drawn out because they had the giant, massive flags that cover the entire field, and they took a knee in, solidarity and in unity, locked in arms. He's the first coach and first owner to take a knee with his team, and they all took a knee in one straight line out on basically the numbers of the field on their side of the field, and then once they rose, he gave the nod, and then they pulled out the flag at that point. So he found the loophole to where.
Well, see, my question is now the kneeling thing. What was the kneeling?
What's the solidarity for?
That's the problem, because what they're asking, okay, what are you unified for? We're unified for unity. So
Man, it sounds so
it's
silly. That
silly
sounds
and
so
stupid.
I'm confused.
And you go back to the original point when all this kneeling started with Kaepernick. He was kneeling in protest
during the anthem for a reason.
For police brutality and
Yeah.
disrespect to his people, to African Americans and blacks within the other country. Now we had somebody kneel on Sunday for Puerto Rico because they got hit by the hurricane.
I'm telling you, it's the
So
ice
do they
bucket
need
challenge.
a sign? Do they need a sign telling us, well, I'm kneeling for this?
Probably
I'm
ribbon,
kneeling for this.
Probably ribbon colors. We're running
Ribbon
out of colors,
colors,
but yeah. So,
Well,
but I'm telling you,
maybe
it's the ice bucket
this is a
challenge.
conspiracy theory because of the negativity of the origin of it. They're like, how do we get rid of people talking about this police brutality because it's just not a good look for the NFL because of how much we honor the police. And someone's like, why don't we just all start kneeling and then we start claiming whatever and it washes out what the original intent was and then becomes something that no one talks about next week.
I think AAA's behind it too.
AAA, I mean, somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerry Jones might be behind it.
I think if you look at the AAA records, you'll find that Jerry Jones is one of the 57 million members of AAA. I think I've just proven
I think the
point
entire
here.
franchise is part of AAA.
I agree. I
The
think
NFL?
NFL.
Well, I think you'll find that pretty much every NFL player is a member of AAA. So I think we've just kind of proven the point right here.
So there you go.
Mic drop. Boom.
But no, this week I think what they're going to be doing, and this is what I was going to say, is like, someone's going to do something so stupid to where it brands this whole fiasco something very negative, and it'll be really stupid to keep doing it. Like, say someone in the stands says something or has a shirt or does something during the national anthem, and then finally we get some clarity about what this is all about. Or B, the NFL is going to preemptive strike and try to do something that kind of blows us all over.
Do you think the NFL may have the brass to not play the anthem?
No way that happens. ever in 10 million years. Goodell will not allow that.
Really? Okay, good.
Because the backlash from the paying fans of tickets, jerseys, and TV subscriptions would be just blown out of the water. You're already seeing the NFL Network giving refunds to people who have bought subscriptions.
I saw that.
And
is AT&T, I think, so is it the NFL?
NFL Sunday Ticket.
yeah, the NFL Sunday Ticket package.
Okay.
And so, I mean, Goodell's going to see the effect of that, and I think you're going to see some sort of response from him and a backlash of some sort.
But didn't they say? I'm sorry. Didn't they say on the news that that there were people were saying they're not watching the games, but yet more people watched the games that Sunday because of it all? They were like,
Well, then they tune into the first 15 minutes
Yeah.
and then they turn off.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
So-
okay.
Well, because I brought up that question off the air, I was like, I wonder why they don't show anybody in the stands kneeling. Because I'm surprised there's not. I really am. I'm
They're
surprised.
too busy booing.
Because I know some people, like when I go to actual sporting event, some people sit during and that's not because they're trying to say something. It's more of like, I'm eating my nachos, man. I want to get up.
yeah, I don't want to spill my beer.
And
And we give them the stink eye and we move on.
yeah. And well, it's like taking the hat off. That's one of my favorite things is if you have a group of people with hats on, and then like there's like 2 or 3 who leave the hat on, the people are like hitting them on the head, like get that off, get that off, and then
I do that.
yeah, it's great. And like and even people you don't even know, it's like get that off, man. What's wrong with you? But with that in mind, I'm surprised the cameras haven't caught anybody because there's got to be a group of people, a group.
You would imagine there is, but I truly believe if there are, it's a very few number. Those people.
Well, they
the
said there were
demogra-
18% of the football players were kneeling. Only 18% last Sunday.
Yeah, well, the demographic in which they come from, as far as the fans go, not the players, the fans, a lot of them that are willing to spend the money on tickets are going to be on the more conservative side of things, and
Well,
probably
they like when the Jets fly over.
yeah, and they appreciate the patriotic nature of everything that goes on with that celebration of our
Yeah.
country.
Jake, do you think this is it gonna be like the Ice Bucket Challenge is gonna fizzle out and people are gonna forget what the Ice Bucket Challenge was for, or
No one forgot what that was for.
what was it for?
ALS.
Yeah, what she
ALS.
said.
There you go. Thank
Yeah.
you. But a lot of people did it. Thank you for saving Dick's tiny there. Yeah, of course, we
I wish
remember
I
what
could
it's for.
remember his name. The guy.
Lou Gehrig.
No, not back that far.
Oh, okay.
The
for
Saints
the actual.
player. The Saints player that has ALS that they did a documentary on.
They have a trophy of him, and I'm completely
Yes.
blanking on
I
his
know,
name,
me too.
They have a trophy in front of him of one of his last games in his
Yes.
last season, blocking
Yep.
a punt, and that was the year they won the Super Bowl. And he's got
It's so
he's
sad.
bright with curly blonde hair.
Yeah.
Oh,
We watched the
Someone call in, let us know.
We watched the documentary on it, and you just sit and bawl what that man has gone
So
through.
with ALS aside, well, let's come back.
I'll
We
answer
got
your
it.
question when we come back.
You're listening to Mornings Lone Star here at IRLoneStar.com and Connors FM. We'll be right back with the nitty gritty.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936 Conroe C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
We are back. Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. We got special guests in the studio with us. We got Jake. We got Leo. Just before we went to break, we were talking. I was asking Jake if he felt this was going to be if he felt this is going to be like another Ice Bucket Challenge where maybe people remember or forget why they're kneeling, and in a month or 2 or 6 or a year from now, this is a phase, or is this going to continue?
So the quick and short answer to that is the Ice Bucket Challenge. Yeah, maybe we forgot who it started with, or but I don't think we ever forgot that it was for ALS necessarily. And the trend continued and continued and continued, and I think now you've seen it drop off big time, and it's not a movement anymore because it ran its course and stopped kind of being cool, quote unquote. And not to take anything away from all the donations and everything that went to it, but it's the nature of the beast. In
It was in
era.
the spotlight for that time and
that
moved
15
on.
minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. This has already seen its 15 minutes, and that 15 minutes is gone, long gone. And you saw it go away when people started kneeling for different causes and features, and not from what it was originally meant to stand for. And it lost it because of it had no vocal leader. It had no leader to the movement and everything like that. And the sad thing about all that is the problem with it is the Steelers stayed in the locker room, and you saw Alejandro Villanueva come out, stand by himself in the tunnel, ex-military man, 3 terms served overseas in Iraq, and he had to come out and apologize for what he did. And I felt so bad watching him have to apologize for saluting his flag. And he had no reason to apologize other than the fact that he felt bad because he felt like he betrayed his team.
I have a feeling there was a locker room discussion. Hey, all of us but you did that. But, walk it back.
That's freedom.
Well, that's what I was asking. I really would love to see the actual conversation in that circumstance, because what would amaze me is all the people who are on that franchise lets this guy go out by himself, and I'd be like, whoa, he's going out by himself? I don't want him to be by himself. And you think someone would go out with him.
Well, and Ben Roethlisberger he's the quarterback for the Steelers, came out and made a comment afterwards and said, yeah, I feel terrible. I couldn't sleep the next night because I should have been out there with him. And that's the football mentality making both of those individuals make those statements, but neither of them had to make those statements. Neither of them did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And it just...
And it gets confusing because people label it,
that's the problem with this movement, or this attempt at a movement, or whatever you want to call it.
I equated in the last few days, to Occupy Wall Street. There was a catastrophic failure of advancement because there was no clear message and no voice to give that message.
Yeah, it's gonna die.
Yeah, it's already gone.
Are we predicting already?
Well, that's my prediction.
You predict it's going to die, but
well,
nothing is going to happen.
What's funny is I think there's going to be the media is going to try to do its best to fluff the story because it's happened so often. Like, we can gain watchers from this, so let's create a strategy to show it, because they're definitely going to have more cameras on, ready. And it's going to happen. They're going to have little earpieces, look at the players. These are the players who we think we're going to do it. So set up the cameras and get that ready, and then that kind of stuff.
You think Vegas is going to start taking the odds on which players kneel, which ones don't?
No, I know those producers are definitely talking about it. And,
I bet England's doing it.
Well, that's what's funny.
They bet on everything.
They do.
Who killed JR?
I remember that.
I remember that.
I remember Terry Wogan talking about the odds of who killed JR.
Yeah, my dad went to the bookies and bet on that. It was just
they
bet
on everything over there.
Yep. Love that bookie shop.
JR was a character in a show called Dallas, just in case you don't know.
Yeah. I thought you were saying JFK, and I'm like, man, they're going to be waiting a long time on that one. But,
that shows our age.
But yeah, that's realistically my prediction is it's gonna die pretty soon. Probably not this week. I think probably what's going to happen is mid-season, the NFL is going to realize this isn't helping, because that's when they actually start seeing the numbers, and they're going to kind of shift the whole hive mind towards something else. Either right when it becomes October, isn't October the breast cancer month?
Yes.
So they're probably going to shift the whole PR to that, because I know that's a huge deal with them, and they have contracts signed, and even players get in trouble if they don't wear pink stuff, which is crazy. But yeah, that's just gonna. It's October's around next week, so that's what's gonna happen.
Jake, your prediction?
I think you're going to see it escalate. I think you're going to see someone from the Seahawks do something very outlandish. And
like a car or something like that.
Something that just takes it to a new level, and then it changes the rhetoric, and then everybody becomes afraid to associate with that individual and that action of kneeling or protesting the national anthem in some form or fashion. And I think it's gone by we're heading into week 4. I think it's gone by week 9, 10.
Yeah,
of this year.
Around mid-season. Because you can only have this only be entertaining for so long for half the watchers, because that's half the people who are watching is waiting to see what's happening. But and then again, the message itself, if it was a good message, it'd stick around for a long, long time.
Yes.
And it's not a good message because no one knows what the message is.
They're kneeling for unity, but this movement has no unity. So it's like...
So do you think what's going to happen is people, they're going to stand, and that one person that wants to kneel is either going to feel silly kneeling because they're the only one doing it, or
Or are they going to get the snot beaten out of them?
yeah,
That's what Jason. I asked Jason before we went on the air about that, like what his prediction was. I'm trying to gather them, and he feels that there's going to be someone in the stands. I think it's going to go into the stands, and someone somewhere is going to take a knee, and that person is going to be like.
It's gonna be really awkward to do that because
there's
really
not
no
enough room.
to do that.
Oh, yeah, there is that. You're up in the nosebleed section.
I was doing the Tebow. Don't hit me. I was doing the Tebow. It's like, get him.
I believe one of two things. Either they're going to bring Roseanne Barr back out of retirement, promote her show, and have her sing the national anthem again, just so people
It
are too busy.
neutralizes her.
It neutralizes everything. I'm too busy throwing tomatoes at her than to kneel or stand. But I also believe because the NFL is good at public relations. That's the world that I'm in the real world. And you can always put a good spin on it. And this is earlier I gave some crime stats, arrest stats. And there are a lot of NFL players who do a lot of bad things, but they're still cheered on. And I believe we're going to find a PSA on TV pretty soon about last month you saw us take a knee. Well, now we're standing for, and it's going to be the cause du jour. It's going to be breast cancer awareness. It's going to be
and all that
domestic
kind of
violence.
stuff.
It's going to be something
Yeah,
like
I was
that.
gonna say.
And they're going to put the spin on it, like now before we took a knee, but now it's time for the second quarter, and they're going to turn it into some schmaltzy thing, cause celebre for the rest of the year.
Well, what I love about this whole scenario is it gives you really recognize the individual and who are these people they stand for. And thank goodness for Google, everything's tracked.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could go down the history of Kaepernick, and everyone has forgotten that he even plays football now. And unfortunately,
We thought he didn't for a while.
well, yeah, that's right. What was unfortunately for him, he didn't. If he was smart, he would take his belief and start something. I mean, he has the audience.
It's if I can pipe in on that, it's like the first world problems, but it's the first world cause that if you can hashtag it, if that's the extent of your protest is to hashtag save Puerto Rico or hashtag Boko Haram, that does nothing.
well,
Hashtagging your Twitter account does nothing.
I mean, if he's smart, he wouldn't really side with the radicals of both sides. It'd be more of like, what topic can we actually achieve and see what results we can get.
He could have formed the Kaepernick Foundation, have a clear-cut mission statement about this is why I started
like
sitting,
helping
I
families that
evolved,
are wrongfully,
victims
basically
of,
pay for their legal things, to sue and get a lot more money. And,
absolutely. But I think it was go ahead.
No, and where is he in all of this? I mean, we saw
Well,
the biggest.
his girlfriend's tweeting.
Well, yeah, but where is he? We don't care
Well,
about his girlfriend. He's the one who started all of this, and we had the biggest weekend in kneels and protests of anthems.
I think he's going down to his soul, and his soul wants to play football, and now he can't. So that's what's really. He's like, I'm just not gonna say
I think he was
anything.
at the patent and trademark office trying to trademark this before it
So
gets
if
out of hand.
he had,
like Tebow.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
trademarked. He
No,
trademarked.
I know
He
he
could have
did.
Kaepernick.
I know he did. It's funny. So if he had started out from the very get-go with not doing it during the national anthem, yes, it caused a lot of upright, and yes, it brought a lot of attention to him. But if he had done it in another fashion, whatever form of protest he wanted to do it as long as it wasn't during the national anthem, I think that his message, his overall message, would have been perceived better. And I think it would have not had the ability for Americans and Donald Trump to turn this in from don't abuse black people to don't offend our national anthem and our flag.
Yeah.
And it's just it was poor choice, poor leadership on his part, and that's probably why he's not in the NFL.
So that's why he's not a leader or a quarterback.
He's not a quarterback. He's not a leader. So
Because a quarterback has to be a leader. Has to be, apparently.
He's the captain of the
Unless Ray
field of
Lewis is on
battle.
your team.
unless Ray Lewis is on your team, yeah.
But no, it's a real fun topic, and I'm really looking forward to when it goes away.
Any Gandhi protests where somebody lights themselves on fire?
Oh, well, I was saying about that earlier. I don't think it's going to get that far, but that would
Hunger strikes?
a hunger strike. That.
Well, that's what-
At least nothing important like dumping tea in the British Harbor. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
sorry
we
about
don't wanna
that,
do
Leo.
that.
We had to bring it up.
Yeah. But again, well, here's the thing: there's a history of protesting with a purpose, and so going back to the Boston Tea Party, as it were, sometimes laws broken, the rules are broken.
You don't think someone kind of stole some of that tea? Let's be
They
real.
line their pockets
One
with
of
it.
those guys is like, man, why are we throwing all this good tea away? Let's just Put a bunch
Just tea.
Put this in the
Well, you'd have
wagon.
the one guy there like going, "Why?
I line my pockets with sweetener all the time.
Why are we dumping this good tea?"
And that
It's
didn't
not
come
gonna-"
from next door, so that's a good thing.
No, it didn't.
But kind of bring it around. If those guys had just Paul Revere and company had just taken a knee, nothing would have happened. We'd all be speaking with British accents, which is not
There's nothing
necessarily
wrong with that.
a bad thing.
Yeah,
That
That
would
would
have
have
been
been
a
the
good
worst
thing.
thing
Yeah.
ever.
Well, there wouldn't.
Serious.
Oh, because there'd be real football here.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, we play real football here.
Yeah.
Or rugby. Make rugby
We
a
don't play
national
soccer.
pastime.
You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star here at OurLoneStar.com. Hope you're enjoying this morning. We're halfway through our show. We're having a good time. If you want to comment, call in 936-647-3776 to leave a message. Or you can message us on Facebook, MW Lone Star. We'll be back here in a bit.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936 Conroe C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
We are back. Mornings with
Yeah.
Lone Star. We are jamming to the tunes here. I got Jake sitting across me lip syncing, and it's a visual that's not going to go away anytime soon. Hey, props to listener Joe, who pointed out to us that Kaepernick does indeed have himself a little foundation of some kind there. I'm going to check it out, but maybe he's going to turn this around into something. That would be good. Nope. Jake's shaking his head no.
Is it called Take the Knee?
The Take the Knee Foundation. Take a Knee Foundation.
He has donated a lot of money, and it goes through the foundation, but it's not like a true nonprofit organization.
Not your 501c3.
501c3,
There
that's
we
what-
go.
that's what I was
Okay,
looking
we'll keep that in mind.
So he gives money to the protesters?
No, he gives money
Knee
to
pads?
I was going to
A
say,
single knee pad.
police training, I think is what it is.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Police training, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I can track with that.
Well, yeah. So I mean, he's not. My only objection to him is how he chose to start it, and the fact that he's been so silent throughout.
I feel
this.
sorry for that one poor soul who was just sitting. And it's just like, hey, this guy's protesting over here. And he's like, oh, no, I just had my wife's
No, I got
dying.
gout.
I got stuff on my mind. Like, I just got to. I'm sorry, I just wasn't paying
I
attention.
got a broken hip. I got gout. I got something.
I got 6 kids at home, and I haven't slept in 3 weeks. This is
Right.
my first time out of the house.
Yeah.
Well, cool. There are a couple of other topics I want to talk about here.
Okay.
One of them was, people know I'm fiscally conservative, more socially liberal, but the catastrophic failure of the Republican Party to do anything with the ACA, Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. These dudes had 7 plus years, complaining and carping about, oh, this sucks. But when it came to it, there was literally nothing on the books. I could have come up with something by now.
Well, it's one of those things, like I said, everyone's still in shock that our current president's Donald Trump, and it's kind of through a lot of, what's the right word? The gears are
Monkey wrench.
Monkey wrench.
A spanner. Sorry.
a spanner.
A spanner.
Yeah.
a spanner in the chains
yeah,
or in
some-
the
a ball
whatever
log in
it
the wood
is.
pile.
But really, I mean, think about everybody. Everyone over there, it seems like in Washington, has their own agenda, like individually, and especially with the Republican Party getting so shaken up by Donald Trump, and the Democratic Party getting so shaken up by, Bernie Sanders' popularity, and then, I mean, Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. I mean, I bet there's some folks over there in Washington actually had to take a break because they're like, what is happening over here? Like, this is not the way it was supposed to go. And people don't know how to respond.
But do we think there would have been a magical ACA replace and repeal plan in place if, Rubio had won?
Well, clearly,
No.
well, if anything, this kind of displays that people want it still inside the government. Like, it's something that they're either benefiting from, or because they're certainly not afraid of repealing it, and then the whole world goes down. But
There's got to be something. Now, I personally am not a fan of nationalized health at all. I kind of lived
Well,
it.
I
and-
could tell you a little bit about that.
Right. Well, I lived it too. So
Yeah. I mean, my mum had Crohn's disease. And back in 1978, she weighed like 67 pounds and she's 5'5". But this disease was killing her. And so she was put on a list at that point. Oh, well, we're going to put you on a list. And when we can get you in, we'll do it. So my dad ended up borrowing money from a rich old lady that he knew so my mom could go private to have the surgery. Otherwise, she would have died. I also had a brother-in-law that needed back surgery. He had a ruptured disc. He was on the list for 2 years. 2 years flat on his back in his house. But if you just have a cold, no, I mean, if your appendix bursts, you're getting in. But when they feel they can make you wait, they do. There's no sense of urgency.
And you want us to get what you pay for. We've talked off the air. In my youth, I had what's now known as a traumatic head injury, and I was actually slowly dying of brain injury. And every time I go to the national health doctors, I'd be given like a codeine cocktail and told I was stressed because I was studying for my O-levels. And so you literally get what you pay for. And you have these people, well, in Denmark, they have free healthcare. Yeah, but you also have to go in the military for 2 years in Denmark. You can't equate our nation with any other nation. Every nation has their own flavor.
Well, it would certainly be interesting to see what the country decides to do, because everyone's kind of watching everything the country's doing now. Everyone outside the country or inside the country. And people are understanding, I hope there's a big movement in our education system to educate more about how the system works.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of, including myself, there's tons of things about this government process and healthcare and all that stuff I don't know the first thing about, and it's just.
And everyone's an armchair quarterback, to use the sports analogy. Oh, if I would do this and do that. And the thing is that no one person should have the answer. No president should have the answer, because he's not a doctor. He's not a healthcare professional. You got to surround yourself with experts who say this is the best possible.
But he preached that. He preached that when he ran. He said, I have close ties to insurance, healthcare, owners and friends of mine, doctors who are friends of mine, that are going to help me put together this organized plan. And they had 7 years of complaining, but they've complained without coming up with a solution.
Everyone talks about the weather. No one does anything about it. And now I heard that they're going to say, well, for the not Graham Chapman. That's a Monty Python guy. The Graham something. the authors of this latest bill, when they said, okay, well, we're going to put it on the back burner for a while. Now we're going to talk about our our tax plan. So it's like, really, we're going to go from healthcare and you're going to give us a solid tax plan that everyone's on board with? It's I'm substantially disappointed with the Republican Party, the GOP in general, at this moment.
Well, do you think, with that in mind, I mean, the younger generation's really not subscribing to the dual party system? And when it comes down to like the young Republicans and the young Democrats, depending on where you are in the nation, because that's where they really start developing in college. You join the groups and stuff. They're really not there anymore. At least when I went, I mean, they were still there, but it wasn't something that was so involving that you couldn't. If you weren't involved with it, you'd be outcasted in a sense in society.
Right. We grew up primarily, in modern times with the two-party system, unlike in England where your government could literally change on a whim with a new party would
But
form.
the tax there is so much higher. I mean, you're paying for it. You're paying for that health care.
Right, yeah.
So,
when I lived there, VAT was like 33%.
oh my gosh.
Petrol was
like
so funny.
$8 a gallon.
Right, the gas stations or petrol stations in England, the gas got so expensive over there that the digital readouts on the gas pumps couldn't go that high, so they had to start selling it by the half liter, basically by the half gallon, because you couldn't show the full price because they ran out of digits for it. So for those who say, oh, we want national health, in my opinion, you really don't.
So do y'all think, so with the Trump thing, and it's been a popular topic among the youth, who do you think the next bizarre candidate for
The Rock.
The Rock?
Totally.
You think he's going to be
The
the
Rock
one
or
to
Kid
run?
Rock? Because
No.
Kid Rock was saying, he wants the Senate. But people laughed at Al Franken when he ran. He was a Saturday Night Live writer when he ran for the Senate and won.
Because, you mentioned The Rock. I think The Rock could win.
Well, I mean, because like the good example of what grew was the Bernie Sanders popularity in the Democratic Party. I mean, that was, no one's ever really seen that before. When it comes down to people voicing, because everyone, I mean, think about Hillary Clinton, and everybody there was like, all right, we're going to vote Hillary Clinton. There's not really another person going against her. And all of a sudden we had this other guy who no one really knew about and suddenly became hugely popular with the young crowd. And, I mean, just think about the nightmare of the DNC convention of just people
Oh, yeah.
leaving, and like it was.
How confused the opinions were on.
Yeah.
But you had the same thing. I mean, we saw Jeb Bush go out real early in that political run against Trump, and everybody. I feel like that was the front running favorite to win out of the Republican side.
It was the marketing, seriously, to put that photo of him with Jeb with the exclamation point. That's like a Howard Dean who lost his presidential candidacy because he went, woo! I'm telling you, that's what killed the Bushes out of the White
It
House.
shows the power of PR and social media and what people are willing to latch onto. Because I mean, certainly Donald Trump is, as narcissistic as he is, he's probably loving every day right now because he gets mentioned every day.
Yep.
Every day, every morning, every night.
I think that started with the last presidency. I got to look up the facts and figures, but I never, before the previous president, I never knew a president to be top of the headlines literally every day of his administration until President Obama.
Because I could totally tell Apple was in on it because my phone, I never get updates. But then whenever Trump does anything that is like somewhat scandalous, I get a message. Do y'all get those?
No.
From Apple News?
Oh, I'm not subscribed to Apple News.
So I didn't know I was either until I started getting like I was like, what is this? And it says Trump,
But that's the power of social media, and we saw that. I mean, you're now looking 9 years almost back since the start of Obama's presidency, and yeah, I mean that's when Facebook really started to expand and blow up, and so.
Well, they need like Jesse Ventura or something like that
Jesse the Body Ventura.
because he's an outspoken guy, and I believe he's a Democrat. So they need somebody to match Donald Trump's ridiculousness.
Well, you could have The Rock and you could have Kid Rock.
Ooh, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, but
I would so watch that campaign.
I just like how that goes.
The Rock and the Kid Rock.
and Kid Rock.
well, what's great about The Rock, if you imagine him,
Rocks United.
if you imagine The Rock's social media, he'd wake up every morning like, "Good morning, America. I just did some reps. You gotta get up, gotta get ready, gotta be proud. Let's get out there. Talk to you later." And then that's if you follow
that
him.
would be the fireside chat.
No. If you follow him on social media, that's literally what he does every other day. He does like he's at the gym and he does something inspirational about getting your goals done and being kind to
He'd
one
make
another.
Michelle Obama's Get Fit program look weak.
Yeah, look weak, and I mean it's like I just can't.
18 raw eggs for breakfast.
Yeah. But no, I think at least the young age, it's going to be funny to see how the deep government or whatever you can call it, the conspiracy government is going to be able to control what's happening in 20 years because of who the voting power goes to. Because a lot of people, I mean, that's really how this whole thing is shifted, is the voting power. Who's going out this year to vote, and somehow Donald Trump won. But I mean, really, I mean, I'm someone's going to write a book 10 years from now and be like, this is how he actually won. But you're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here at IRLoneStar.com. Mornings with Lone Star. We'll be back after this.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936 Conroe C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
We are back. Mornings with Lone Star, the nitty-gritty hour. We're getting nitty, we're getting gritty. You got Dick and Skippy. Don't listen to what the others say. We are the ones who built the city on rock and roll.
And our opinions don't reflect
Necessarily reflect.
Yeah, we
Because
always
they
gotta
may
say that.
reflect. You never know. This is an opinion hour here, and we're getting some opinions today. Our studio is growing by the moment. I'm sitting across from Jake. I'm sitting across from Leo, and to my right, I got Jason.
We got a very diverse group of people in
Right.
here.
We got a Brett.
Thanks, Jason, for creating that
thanks
diversity
for being,
for us.
Thanks for being the token over there.
And some color
We're
to the
talking
canvas.
because he's a veteran. So welcome back. We're having a good time. And, we kind of talked about beginning of the week, the poop jogger.
That's right. She's made a comeback.
So I'm not kidding you. I don't know. Okay, this is what.
Did you make another video?
Okay, so this is what happened. So apparently, a representative of the poop jogger If you don't know what this is,
She
what
has
we're
a
talking about,
representative.
there's a video of this lady who goes around town and she uses the restroom in front of people. And it's like while she's jogging, it's like, and it's been repeated. It's a repeated case, and they're trying to find her. And somebody came out, said they're a representative of her, and claiming that she's having a brain issue, which is a result, and I kid you not, of a gender transition surgery that she's currently going under.
What?
And so
Which way is she going?
I don't know. It just
Well,
you don't,
she's being referred to as a she's, and she's transitioning from male to female. That's the protocol.
okay. I didn't. Yeah, well, whatever it was, but basically, he's saying she's having brain issues, and it's also her First Amendment right to express herself that way.
Really?
But and this is like reported in the news, so this isn't someone on social media doing something. This is like, and that's one thing I kind of highly doubted it because it's like, why would someone write an article about this on a news site, like a local news, like Channel 13 kind of local?
Yeah.
And
No, it's not in Houston. Where is she located?
someone is pulling their chain. Someone's got to be, because who calls? I'm the representative of the poop jogger,
Right.
And
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. Just look up poop jogger and you'll find it.
Yeah. We want
Yeah,
to
look-
want to trend hashtag.
If you're at
poop
work,
jogger.
don't look it up. But it's a real deal. Jake, you
Believe it or
getting
not.
ideas? Is that what's going on?
Yeah,
I see the gears moving in
I'm
your head.
thinking
I'm in.
Oh, sorry. I've been calling her the wrong thing. She's now dubbed the Mad Pooper.
the mad pooper.
So-
Well, we've
Okay,
got
this hashtag-
It's in
Mad
Colorado. It's in Colorado.
Colorado Springs,
Oh.
Colorado.
Yeah, so she might have a brain injury. Basically, is what
She
she's saying.
won't be doing it in the
See,
snow.
people, you legalize pot
It'd
and see
be a
what
bit
happens.
cold.
They,
It would melt the snow real fast.
Don't eat brown snow.
Well, these are the challenging moments in this country when it goes to the Supreme Court. Is pooping on someone's lawn a First Amendment right?
as
We
long as
need
she
that-
needs a baggie.
We need that declared.
You need to clean
Well,
up
that's
after
just
yourself.
being proper for your neighbors.
Well, yeah.
She
clean it
wasn't
up.
though.
well, here's the thing. Actually, the way around that, because again, First Amendment protects you from government intrusion. You have no First Amendment rights when it comes to HOA deed restrictions. Every homeowners association board has a pooper scooper
Rule.
law, rule,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So you're breaking that law or rule, so you're not covered by First Amendment.
But if I were to get on the side of the road caught for peeing by a police officer, I could say that's my First Amendment right
No,
to pee on the side of the road.
No, they're indecency laws.
Yes.
yeah, or
Public
decent, there you go.
Public indecency laws. That she's breaking up public indecency law.
You guys need to see this on video. Jason was just like, "What?"
You haven't seen it, Jason?
Well, they're
I've
trying.
seen it.
This lawyer man is trying to compare it to breastfeeding in public.
Okay, one is providing substance for life, and the other one is pooping on somebody's lawn. Now, I can't say I've never done that to
I wouldn't
another
say they're
individual,
equal.
but, I'm not, that's not equal.
No.
Hey, are you a lawyer? Are you the Supreme Court? Let them decide.
But that does bring up a good point.
Uh oh, Jason.
Oh, here we go.
Here's our
topless
vet.
laws. About topless laws, right?
Right.
Now, are women... Is a woman being topless in public an indecency when a man being topless in public isn't?
I think
Silence.
I think no.
I'll-
I think it depends
Jump
on
on
the
that one.
community. I think the community should vote on if you're cool to poop or not. I mean,
Why?
Again, in England,
because the community might be all poopers.
We're all bad poopers.
Again, in
Hey.
England, growing up there, I'll be really brief about this. There was breastage on television, broadcast television.
yeah.
We had the Page 3 nude. I would watch
Yep.
Is it The Guardian every day?
The Sun.
The Sun, that's what it was, because I actually got a paper route, so I could be the first to watch the Page 3 news. You know what? Life went on. I was relatively
wasn't a big deal.
well-adjusted. It's
Yeah.
being made such a larger deal than it truly is.
Yeah.
In my humble, and I also go to Hooters for the wings. I'm just saying that.
Well, another thing, like
food's
the beauty of
terrible.
social media here is Charmin, the toilet paper people, who have reported saying if she turns herself in, they'll supply a year's supply of TP for her.
Oh my gosh.
So, there are some benefits of pooping in people's.
Are you kidding me?
Jason, get to it.
This is 2017. I love
Honey,
it.
honey,
I
if you're
love it.
listening in, I need you to do something for me. Don't ask questions. Just
Just do it.
just do it.
I mean, it is something really interesting because the absurdity it is.
Is Charmin making a joke out of this?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Okay, good.
Speaking of which, we got Charmin the Clown calling in on Friday, don't we?
Yes, we do. We do. We're not in the wrap up segment yet.
Oh,
so
okay.
chill.
I was just a segue there.
Chill.
Okay.
But I think Jason really wants to live in a neighborhood where the mad poopers are your neighbors.
No, we don't. Right? No.
No, because he's going to be the one going after them, picking it up.
I thought you were going to say women walking around topless, but
Well,
you went
yeah.
the other end.
I mean, there are nudist colonies, so I mean, why not?
Well, there are.
colonies?
Yeah, but that's like the HOA thing where, the like you said, the neighborhood should decide on whether or not they're okay
There
with
are
mad poopers.
rules. There are laws.
I
as
just,
Jason
I mean,
pointed
can you
out.
imagine that being the norm and you're running in Memorial in Houston and then like people are like, that
squatting.
time, and you're like, hey, John,
Well,
high five. And it's like,
In Japan, actually, it was. Back in the 70s, they were called benjos, and they were like ditches dug by the side of the road, and you could. If you had to go.
And there's a
you
little
went.
toilet paper thing instead of doggy poop bags.
Are
You
you-
got like toilet paper and wipes
Are you-
right there.
Are you kidding? I totally remember that when I was a little kid in Taiwan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it-
the side of the street.
Is that why you dug a hole in the backyard?
No,
Well, that was to hide the
that would be
body.
great.
the
That
side
was
of
to hide the body, but he punked out the last second.
the side of the streets. It's like a little canal, and you squat over it, and you dump.
But it's supposed to be healthier to do it that way because of the natural position your body.
Who's
I'm
telling
so
you
glad
that?
I'm
Is
in
AAA
America.
telling you that?
No, the potty squatty conspiracy theorists.
I mean,
Yeah,
Have you? Yeah, I mean, squatty
living in
potty.
Japan-
you know what we should do? We should combine all the best things other cultures have done and create the ultimate culture.
In
I
one
don't know. I
neighborhood?
don't know if digging ditches and having that latrine is part of that culture, but maybe.
Could you imagine the stench?
well, no. See, Japan is like an insanely clean country. They would like clean streets 3, 4,
I
5,
think
6
you can
times a
get.
day.
Well, they actually enforce our litter laws there.
Oh yeah,
So-
no.
Has anybody else taken a crap in the woods before?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you done it with an E-tool, an entrenching tool?
Oh yeah. With a little kit that comes and get the little shovel, dig it
Dig
out.
it.
Yep.
You make the little L with the tool. You
Yep.
sit on one cheek, and it's just wind and birds.
And it's
Thank you
beautiful.
for that image.
It's beautiful.
We probably need to clean up this conversation. It
Hey, I
is,
got one last topic before
okay,
we
got
go.
a couple minutes. We got a couple minutes.
Here we go. So Governor Abbott spanking Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner, saying, "What are you asking us money for? You got the money." And that's a good point because a week or two ago we were talking about Sylvester Turner, the mayor of Houston, requesting $25 million.
Well, I was taught to never hurts to ask.
Does never hurt to ask. But when he said, "I need $25 million from the rainy day fund, or I'm just going to have to temporarily raise property taxes on these homeowners who have lost
right.
their homes, and we're not going to give them revised estimates on the property value, even though that property is now probably gone." And Governor Abbott pulling out the big gun, spanking. Now, they were already at odds with the evacuate, don't evacuate. They were giving two conflicting messages. But now Abbott just flat out saying, you are holding us hostage when you've got the money yourself. And I mean, that's a strong word when a governor actually accuses the mayor of holding anything hostage. Big gun time.
I'm telling you, Houston is in money trouble, and they're trying to save every penny and get any dollar they can get.
I think you're actually on because Turner ran on a platform of many different platforms, but it was to fix the I lost the word.
The pension.
The pension
Yeah.
kerfluffle that they literally had no money. They made all these pension promises for the first responders, firemen, police, and previous mayors like, it is not there. We do not have the money. We've got to renegotiate. And Turner kind of came, I've got a magic bullet. I think we've just found out what that magic bullet is. And that he was saving that money to re-inject the pension plans and not banking on the fact that a storm might come ripping through.
It's gonna be interesting. Houston's in an interesting has an interesting future ahead of itself.
It does. There's been one public hearing on the whole property tax thing, and it did not go over well at all. What's going to die first, the property tax increase or the taking a knee?
Find out.
And we'll
Here on-
find out on the hard-hitting.
Thanks for checking us out today, folks. Just to let you guys know, today or tomorrow, we're going to have a special guest from your county library here. If you didn't know, coming up next weekend is their big book sale. So we're going to have Vicky in the studio talking about that and about all the books they get ready. I mean, it's a pretty big deal over there. I went over there and I met Vicky, and she's very passionate about supporting your local library, which they all seem to be. Like, where's the Kool-Aid there? You know, it's like they're all about books. And all about it, like every single person you talk to about books, and even people in the bathroom, we find out. No, I'm just kidding. But thanks for joining us, you guys. It's good to see y'all, and hopefully our predictions are right or wrong. We'll find out on Monday. We'll probably, or I guess Tuesday, we'll talk about our predictions for the NFL.
Did you
and
mention
how,
AAA
and
today?
Oh, yeah. They've figured prominently in many of our conversations.
Oh yeah, they're
AAA, we're out for you.
Mad Pooper. I'm telling you, that's who's really behind.
She's insured by them.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you are listening to Lone Star Community Radio. Come up next here on IRLoneStar.com. Your community radio station is going to be Montgomery County Lifestyle. And we'll be back with more stuff tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with Mornings on Lone Star. Look forward to seeing you guys then, so stick around.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.